Well, hello there, everybody. I was reading the comments. I mean, won't get fooled again. I tell you, I love it. You just got to dig it. Those of you who, well, back in the day, if you were there to see the Who, uh, right, everyone raise your hand. But yeah, won't get fooled again. Anyway, hello everybody. Good to see you all. Thank you for tuning in. It is so good to see everyone. I do appreciate you being here. And as I get all the buttons pushed and we are fully on board, ready to go because I can drive minimally. So, speaking favor over us all, planting that seed, it's very important. And hope you do it as well, because I have a testimony. And the thing about testimonies, you can't give a testimony unless you've had a test. Yeah. Anyway, that's why we speak favor over each other as well. Nothing missing, nothing broken. So good to see everyone. Hello, everyone in the chat room. Have missed all of you. Chloe, good to see you. Deborah, Sloan, much love to you. Darlin as well. There were some other. Gilbert, how are you, brother? Good to see you as well. Jackie, what's up, girl? Irvin, first time I've seen you in here, but hello. How are you, good sir? Who else did I see in here? Lost in Space and Street Mom. How are you, my dear? Good to see you. Emperor Rex and Loretta, trying to catch everybody. Hello, Bernadette. Goddess Sabina, good to see you as well. Salt of the Earth. What a what a great childhood it sounded like he had. Far freaking out. Pen Greedy, good to see everyone. Rick, what's up, brother? Pass that joint when you've finished with it. Yeah, it's just how we are. Who else do I see? Hello, Stephanie Marie. Good to see you. Russell, what's up? DC and all right. So Stephen, good to see you as well. Oh man. And Gina, hello. So I think I got Z Hunter. What's up? The name Lynn. Good to see you. Mary Wins, much love to y'all and all the rest of you. So um reason why I haven't been on is on Friday I took a fall and really bunged myself up. Got as they said, I came to close as breaking my wrist as one can come without breaking it. Uh, really freaking hurts. This one as well. And then, as I think, as you can see, the whole arm, bone, muscle, abrasions. Then I got three freaking broken ribs right there. My leg and the lower part where it hit, it looks like the elbow and my ribs, shoulder. Um, yeah. So sleeping has been a real adventure. Yeah. And if you're a wanderer in sleep, meaning, if you toss and turn, yeah. That'll that'll definitely perk you up. You'll go, what have I think I even kind of there we go. Um and there was great favor on me. Uh I was about 5 foot standing 5 foot up on the 5 feet up on the ladder, and I was putting up 2 by 8 by 10s, so 2 by 8 that was 10 feet tall. And I guess, they're treated, I guess they weigh 30, 35 pounds. And I was pushing this one, and I don't remember falling. I do remember um, that moment of impact, bam. I knew I hit the ground hard, and this is really rough concrete. It's not smooth concrete. And my first thought was, all right, I just fell. Am I seriously hurt? And my second thought is what am I going to tell my wife? Um, and then you begin to take mental inventory, all right. So I'm looking up and that 2x8 is hanging. I don't know, still I don't know how it hung up the way it did because if it had fallen, it would have hit my skull. Most likely would have crushed it, and there was no doubt about it. Um, and then I realized that, I don't think anything's broken, but things really do hurt. And I am like, wow. And it took me, I guess, about a minute just to get figured out. All right, now what do we do? Um, and then I realized this arm, holy crap. Um, and as you can see, it bruised the bone is what it did, and then severely bruised the muscles. But oddly enough, this is here, guys. This is something to tell you. You're never too old to start pumping some weights, and I do. Because of my muscles being as well developed as they were, they prevented my it should be in your arm right here from being shattered. It was bruised, and both wrists, holy crap. The palm of my hand right here, and it's bruised as well, along with both wrists. I don't know how I don't remember how this hand got hurt. But whoa, I mean, folks, that muscle in your palm, in the left quadrant, holy crap. You ever bruise it? Maybe you have. But bones bruises hurt. They do. You're absolutely right, Chloe. It hurts like a So I got up, realized that it was my own fault. I mean, what the hell was I thinking being 5 foot up on the ladder by myself, trying to push up and stack 10-foot 2x8s? What was I thinking? But great favor was around me. I was telling my wife after she settled down a little bit, um, that I said, the weird thing is I don't remember falling. And the way I fell, um, it's almost as if you had the body, how it reacts when your consciousness is no longer in control. It's the laws of gravity. And I'm here to report the laws of gravity are still in effect. And the thing about laws of gravity, they're no respecter of persons. I mean, if you're a 3-year-old child in a tree and you fall and you break your neck, gravity really doesn't care. It's a force. But I will tell you, experience and I was really hurt. I mean, it was one of those things you're going, wow. Um, that favor was in play. Great favor. I could have been hurt a much worse. You know, could have been on the other side, folks. How about that? So anyway, I'm doing the show. I was going to do one yesterday, but my ribs are finally getting to a point where I can sit up in a chair. So anyway, ugh, it sucks, but the body heals fast. That's all I gotta say. It does. But anyway, so here I am. Let's see. Rick says, yeah, the palms hurt as a reflexologist massaging and pressuring points on your hands and feet will help reduce the pain, swelling. Well, thank you, Rick. The great thing about it was the swelling. The only thing that's still swollen are my ribs and my arm. It just, yeah, those two. But I was fortunate that the swelling only lasted for a couple of days, and there it goes. So, uh, Lady Ellie says, my neighbor passed falling off a ladder. Yeah, yeah. Favor was abounding. true that. I can testify. I can testify. And although it's still, I mean, a sprain, I remember how many of you guys, I mean, I played a little ball and you know how it is. And when your body is younger, I mean, sprains are like, okay, tape it up and let's go another round, right? Yeah. So anyway, kids, take your vitamins. That's all I got to tell you. Continue to keep limber as you can and don't get up on ladders unless there's someone around. Common sense. Hey, Nina. Uh, you know how it is, Nina. Just what it is. It's cool. But hey, Paul Joe, good to see you. Rick says I passed out giving blood. Uh, in it in the hospital. Now that is a wild day. Wow. I love this group. Missed y'all a lot. I mean, yeah, falling is a bitch. That's all I got to say. Wow. But these are remarkable spirits. These bodies are. I mean, your body has a spirit. You're inhabiting it. Think about that. How many vessels, actually inhabit living souls? And we've got these bodies. Some say they're avatars. I don't know. I know this. I love my body. And, you know, Friday night was a real adventure into pain. Um, got very little sleep, and I had some pain pills I had to help negate. But I gotta tell you what, man, throbbing, holy crap. And it's a great meditative thing. You feel the pain, and I was thinking each part of my body where the pain was throbbing at, I was mentally trying going there, going, yeah, wow, and it works in perfect unison. I mean, none of us give that kind of thought to the palms of your hand. We just take it for granted. You know, we have this dexterity, and the thing about it is, it's amazing because my consciousness really isn't aware of me wanting to, you know, open and close my fingers and then exposing the palm. And, there's a whole modality. All of us have unique lines. Yeah. So, anyway, now I want to say something else. And this is to the ladies out there. So, and I have permission from my wife to tell this story. But so I guess it was about 16 days ago. Yeah. So my lovely wife, Lynn, went in for a mammogram. And and I think as she had forgotten to get one, and it had been several years had lapsed. So, not having any type of breast cancer in the family, she wasn't too concerned about it. But she went in, and I guess she got the call that afternoon. Yeah. And I had been out and I'd walked in, and she had just gotten off the phone, and they had found something on um, both breasts. And the soonest that they could get her in to do the detailed MRI and the whole thing, um, you have basically 16 days. Now, I admire my wife. She's a very strong, strong woman. And I say woman because, my belief is that, biologically there's only two of us. Yeah. But 16 days to wait. And I sat down and we talked, and I told her, I said, well, I said, I don't think we should talk to anybody. We shouldn't tell anyone. And we discussed it, and I said, here's why. I said, we don't know what this is. We won't know until you can get the next round of the pictures and have the radiologist there, etc. I said, and the fact of the matter is, I said, I can be strong enough for both of us, but I can't be strong enough when we start telling other people. And the problem is when you tell other people will naturally inject fear. You tell them, well, they found something on the x-rays. And, not one, but both, two breasts. And people will immediately revert to that which is in the abundance of their heart. And it's primarily fear because we're taught to fear cancer, particularly breast cancer. And as we agreed, and that was the other thing, we had the power of agreement, where two or more come together in agreement. And if you're a couple, I mean, that's powerful. One can put 1,000, two can put 10,000 to flee. Um, and as I told her, I said, I'm strong enough. I said, and I don't sense any sickness. I said, I don't sense that in you. I don't, in fact, I said, even now, I don't sense that. And there was one other person we decided to tell, and that person's a very positive individual and fell in line much to what we were on that same channel, that there was not going to be a negative report. There was only going to be a good report. And I got to tell you, so for 16 days, and as my lovely wife will tell you, doubt will come a knocking. And, sleep becomes, how shall we say, fitful. And, because there's always the potential for the worst case scenario. And, as I continued to tell her, and during that period of time, was doing the shows here, and, I didn't sense any sickness, none. And so we went on with our lives, she didn't tell her children, and we just kept it amongst ourselves and one other person. And so then my event happened on Friday, coming pretty close to death. I mean, had that 2x8 slipped, I really don't think I would be here, folks. I just telling you right now, wouldn't be here. Um, and then we had this. And then Tuesday came, that moment. Now, folks, I'll tell you, if you've ever been to a cancer center, it's hardcore reality. And the women that were in that waiting room, there was no joy. There was a spirit of death on some of them. And that moment, and there is, and I'm encouraging you ladies, if you haven't gone out and gotten your yearly or whatever your schedule is for your mammograms, do it. Don't put it off. Breast cancer it can be defeated. And the earlier it's caught, the better the defeat has been your odds. So of defeating it. So um, as I said, there were some heavy spirits. And as I was telling my wife, I said, the thing about it is, I said, I see it from once you're connected to the other side, you see it. You know the spirits. And just so everybody knows, that there's two tests that they do. Um, and she just went to the first one, and the radiologist was there and said, yeah, they knew exactly what it was. And he looked at her and he says, congratulations. This is not even close. This is nothing. You don't even need to do the second one. I'm telling you right now, you're healthy. You're going to live a long life. And Lynn got up and hugged the radiologist, and she just, because I'm sure that woman has seen, that doctor has seen the other, the scales, having to tell that beautiful life, I'm sorry, you have cancer. We need to confirm it with this next test, and your doctor will be in touch. I mean, and as we were in a moment of unified Thanksgiving, both of us realizing how favor had played such a part in this whole thing, and that you see how the balance of the scales go. And that evening, we were celebrating, you know, life together, realizing that at some point in time, we will pass over to the other side, but it won't be through fighting a battle such as cancer. So, you know, favor, folks, it plays a factor. And it was interesting because then we began to tell other family members. Um, and it was interesting because her daughter said, well, thank you for not telling me. Gratefully. And she said, because I would have worried and I would have projected fear. And I said, that's exactly why we told you, didn't tell you. I can cover my wife. No problem with that. But it's, again, and it's a lesson for all of us, is that sometimes these situations are best, kept in very tight circles, because these are, um, you know, there's doubt is real. It's, yeah, and it is difficult, no matter how many times you know it, and as you get better at it, it's still there. If you learn to doubt your doubts, you'll never doubt your doubts again. But holy crap. Yeah. So anyway, folks, it is something that I just want to pass on to all you beautiful women, lovely ladies out there. Um, Check it out. And hey, dudes, don't think that you're, you know, out of the blue either. Get those prostrates checked. Uh, we lost a lot of good musicians. Dan Fogelberg is one, you know. Um, yeah, left us too soon. So, guys, anyway, ah, man, there we go. And I got to tell you, we both really slept well Tuesday night. We really did. Monday night, excuse me. Yeah, The lack of sleep on my end, it gets sometimes you get hard going, geez, what was that exactly? Yeah, so it was Monday. Yeah. But anyway, as I continue to adjust. So what's up, chat room? Good to see you. Um, much love to everyone as well. So you see, and I looked at this as I told Lynn, I said, these are tests. And am I saying that a person's faith can change outcomes, you know, doing the roulette wheel? What's it going to land? Yes or no? I'm saying, yeah, faith can move mountains. Cancer's a name. And if it has a name, then it can be defeated. If it has a name, then a name is a name, right? I can call it by its name. I can put death upon it. It's that whole thing about, well, are blessings permissible to give, but curses are not? I have seen in my life where many blessings ended up being a freaking curse. And I've seen what was thought to be cursed ended up being a blessing. Crazy fucking place we live in. Hey, Blazing River, what's up? That's all I got to say is keeping it real here, folks. Because let me tell you, there is some high freaking magic going on. That's all I got to tell you. Hello, Susie Q. What's up? John Price, good to see you, brother. Claudette, hello. And if I haven't seen Gaia, how you doing? So, Chris, what's doing? Chris says, blessing and curses, the same. It really is. Just depends your point of view, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how many of us curse ourselves. The last time we met, which was last Thursday, um, we're talking about words, and I know about words. I've seen it from both of the so-called scripture side of the equation, because that was the persuasion of belief I was in. I figure it's like this: if you're going to worship a god, then that God should be doing special shit for you, you know? That God should be doing shit for you that it's not doing for others. I mean, seriously. Now, I come out of the belief system that God is a rich motherfucker. And he's got a lot of stuff that he just gives out. But it's conditional. It's conditional. Now, if you meet the condition, then you start applying your faith. That's the interesting thing. It's got all these things that it says it'll do, right? But none of them will work if you ain't got the faith. That faith is the active ingredient. It's the part of the epoxy, the mixer, and you get the one that begins to do the chemical reaction. And that's what faith does. But anyway, get to the point where, that's what God was about, making you rich. All the other suckers were thinking that, they had to do all this suffering and all this other stuff. But, if you had the faith, you were going to be tested because, the greater the faith, the greater reward. Not bad, right? But that's exactly how I came out of it. Now, in that, words were critical because I did a number of shows over the last decade. And the question I asked, do the angels trust you or the demons? Do they trust you? Why would a spirit, let's say a high ranking spirit, all right? And I'm just assuming that there is a structure on the other side that mirrors that concept. But nevertheless, why would a spirit waste its time with you? Are you truly a person of integrity? Do you take your words seriously? Because if you're just, okay, so raw, I'll throw my words wherever they go, most spirits that I've encountered won't deal with you. You talk too much. And as I was taught, that a person that is not word integrity, the integrity of their word, the spirits are very leery of them. Because if you can't be trustworthy here and trustworthy to yourself, then most likely you get on the other side, you're going to be the same way. And so spirits are always watching, right? I mean, that's one of the great things, I guess, about being a spirit is that you become a voyeur. Unless it's forbidden to see us when we're taking, those private moments. I don't think so. I just don't think so. Can you see it on the other side? Turn your back. Why? They can't see us. What does it matter? But so and I'm just expressing what I have learned. You may have learned something different, and you may have different ways in which but I have found that spirits do look at humans, mortals, and judge us by our words. I mean, if you're a person who, you know, curses yourself, let's say that. Well, that tells the spirit, high ranking spirit, well, look at that. This is a spirit being, a soul, a living soul, cursing itself. Why would we get involved with that? Why would we have anything to do with that? Right? 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 Uh, but again, so words, and no one's perfect at it. Yeah. At least we in this on this side of the veil, there's allowances given. Because this is a wacko place, man. I mean, just look at all the freaking weird stuff that's going on. And someone, because folks, if you've sent me an email, I haven't responded, it's because it really freaking hurts to type on a keyboard. It really does. It's like, but anyway, was saying that the power of what words that we speak is, well, unique because think about this as I'm going, ouch. Uh, yeah, it hurts. It really does. And it's like, man, you're trying to go on this and you still got this constant pain. And it's like, okay, sure. So let me convert that into positive energy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to go through that. But that's how things are. Words speak. And so, in fact, allow me to digress. The religion I come out of, and you can say it's a cult, denomination, whatever. But so contracts are really important. There was an old covenant, Old Testament, and there was a new covenant, new contract, New Testament. And that there's apparently only certain conditions that on the Old Testament side that would apply. And so with this new covenant, it gave you a grandfather clause that allowed you to tap into the benefits of the old contract without actually have to go through the ritual or the contractual terms in order to get all these blessings, right? Being rich. And so with that, then there was this whole new contract that said, well, it was really incumbent upon more than anything else, your words. the integrity. And getting back to saying, well, do spirits trust us? That's a question I have. I mean, it's like, because if they don't, then we got a problem here, Houston. I mean, then that means that we're all susceptible to being influenced, manipulated, controlled, otherwise altered by unseen energies or personalities. In reading this book, um, in fact, let me just break real quick here. So many of you know our friend, Frater Nathan Setnock, um, over there on Etsy. So, and if anything, just go to Etsy and go to Frater Nathan, and that's Setnach, I believe. And just drop him a line. He lives over in Poland. Um, Nathan's a powerful master in many ways. Um, anyway, so I wanted to just kind of send some favor his way, and he had, and I think that these are limited. I have not checked, to be candid with you, since I got this. I got this from Poland on Saturday, and it has been an interesting read. I do know that it took them a long time to translate from, and I think it was Polish, not sure, but I believe that was in from Polish to English. And then they found a publisher. And this case, they printed a limited edition. This is, I think there's 99 copies of this particular book. I have, give me one second. Everything is like a exercise. Yeah, this is copy number 42 of 99, and you can actually see it there. Signed by the author, and I believe her name is Sorrel Van Arotha, I believe. Um, Incredible book, as you can see. And this is the back cover. I love this. I'll just read this one on the back cover for you. So these are a whole list of poems, rituals. Powerful book. The poems are quite. Here's one on pain. I certainly learned that. Um, Absorption of the dark mass of your gaze. Starry hydrogen with breath aflame and agony, supernova. I, the creator, I watch and admire as my black hole devours your stars with insatiable desire. Boundlessly, my abysmal depths expand. In the chaos of transfiguration, it evolves into the constellation of inspiration. Phenomenal book, folks. I just got to tell you. And I don't know how many copies are left, but I'll read you some of the powerful, and it's really cool because the great thing I like about what Nathan does, this is a shameless plug for him. He always sends, and so this is the symbol, excuse me, I think it's this way, yeah, of this right here. So this is that. Um, the silver pins, lapel pins, and yeah, here that is. Excuse me. There we go. So powerful stuff. Blood, man. It's all about the blood. Uh, John says, I would love to live in Poland. I guess I've never been there. Saw a lot of movies, it's such a place then because, we remember World War II and you think about it. Um, I was born just 10 years after World War II ended. It's like, dang, man, look back on that. Yes, 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 yes. Uh, Lady Ellie, yeah, it's interesting. It's in my will, on the books. I mean, yeah, you just couldn't give this library to anybody. Some fool would throw it out into the trash, you know. Yeah, this looks like devil shit, seriously. So uh when you fell, Wayne, did you shed blood? Yes, I did. I did shed blood. In fact, this morning I shed more blood. I mean, it's like, holy crap. Yeah. So yes, blood was involved. Uh, I'm just reading some of the comments. So anyway, I did not come prepared. Well, frankly, I didn't really expect to do this, but yeah, you just press on through. That's right. Um, Paul Joe says, I follow a guy in Poland, such a nice place, but they have had a tough, yeah, with the wars. Yeah. I mean, look what the freak happened to them, World War One, then World War Two. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. And now with the nonsense that's going on over there, do we ever learn anything? I mean, so getting into these words, I'm thinking, so someone had to speak this reality in. I mean, I know I come from that religion where it was the name it and claim it and bank it because God will make you rich. I was a faithful tither, which gave me a contract. All the rest of the fools who simply go there and just are praying, trying to play the lottery. No, I had an inside track. I had inside information. I was a tither. And so that gave me special privilege. I mean, seriously, I believe this. And yeah, and I learned the power of words, but at the same time, why that was so reinforced was because prior to that, in my teens, I came across Earl Nightingale, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And Earl Nightingale, I was glued to his. I came from a place where poverty was a real reality. And I knew right then that no, I wasn't going to have any part of that. And no matter what it took, I was willing to risk to change that. So there was already this drive and this initiative inside of me. Growing up on the street, you learn real quick. You can't trust hardly anyone. And if you find a friend, you're going to find out that that friendship is going to be predicated upon trust. And the trust is that of your word. You ever break your word to your best friend, that person can still say they're going to be your best friend, but they'll always have doubt now. But anyway, I learned by example and I noticed things. And I'll be very candid with you. I have seen success in many different motifs, but the success that I always impressed me the most was individuals who always spoke in the affirmative, positive tense, using the same principles that I later learned in my religion, in Christianity. I mean, We come from the word of faith. I knew the power of that word, faith. So I'm speaking to somebody out there, and I know that because I read several of the emails someone, and you can go back and read the comments in the last show. People want to hear this. Folks, we're the external forces are at work. But here's the thing. I've lived through 3 different stock market crashes. Uh, the years with Jimmy Carter were just fucking brutal to live through. And the crash of 85, I mean, yeah. Then, of course, we had the crash that happened almost a decade later. And then the big one in 2008. But here's what I have seen and observed. Those who have this positive attitude, it doesn't matter. You know, the wall can be falling down. It doesn't matter. We're going to be all right. We're going to come out. That's why when I say nothing missing, nothing broken, this is what I say in the morning. That Lynn and I, our family, our house, our business, our finances are covered by the fact that we are always the head, never the tail. We always come out on top and not beneath. And I have seen this throughout my life that those who seen that, I also know that there are in every great recession or depression, they do come. I mean, when you got something like the Federal Reserve running finances, I mean, folks, you got to expect it. That's how they're built on. They build up value to a point that where it's unattainable to the average person. And those that did get in there into a certain level, they collapse it. And when they collapse it, then they come in and buy it up. And then they rebuild it back up. Well, there is this current that, if you plug into that, I mean, I remember trying to get VC funding. You start out in angel funding. And, you watch the economy really close. Why? Because these are men and women who have enough disposable income that they can come in, go right over to your desk. And my desk is that we were a young startup. I was put in charge to do a turnaround situation, but these are the people that come in and write you a check on that fateful Thursday afternoon and put it on your desk for $1 million out of their personal account. You can say what you want to be about wealth and rich and what have you, but the way you look at it, it does offer certain amenities that wouldn't be available to others. But my point is, these people had this profundity of being positive. Even when they lost, they were positive. Doesn't matter. I'm one step closer from seeing this happening. And it's like the fall. I mean, I could have really bunged myself up even more. I could have broken both my freaking wrists. Wouldn't that been a freaking nightmare? Could have had that freaking board hit my skull. Wouldn't that have been, but no. I speak favor over my it's happened so repeatedly. It's just we've never learned we learned a long time. Don't assume it. Be grateful for every time it manifests. Because you can begin to get the attitude, get a little cocky, and it's like, yeah, doesn't quite work all the time, right? But yeah, lost in space, it's true. And here's the thing. Since I've become more, hell, I don't know if it's more in tune, more consciously aware. I was always aware spiritually of other spirits, but when you begin to incorporate it into your daily thought, And it's true. Uh, all this past decade, particularly the study of the spirits themselves, I'm beginning to formulate some ideas that there are a class of spirits that integrity is a really big deal for them. And these are powerful forces. I mean, how I look at prosperity is that prosperity is a river. It's a force. It's substance. It hasn't been applied to anything, but it is the basic framework of where we put it into. And prosperity can be like with my wife. We hit the jackpot. She's got perfect health. We know this because the blood work, or both of our blood works came out. Yeah. And I think that that is a result. Our bodies respond to the environment that they're subjective to. It's just me. I mean, you could have a whole different idea. Um, but, and it's like this group here. I mean, there's more love expressed in words. I read the comments, and you know, this is an intimate group, a community that, feeds upon the same thing. And getting back to prosperity, I find prosperity is not just material wealth, but it is a byproduct of it. I've learned that if I am spiritually prosperous, that my spirit prospers, then I know my body is going to prosper as well. I know that the future will prosper as well. It's not to say that there won't be tests, because there are. And the great thing about test is that we're sitting here today because now there could be another point of view and say, well, it was just random chance. Okay. But I choose to believe that favor played a role and that there are spirits, active spirit beings. They've been assigned to my life. I've been walking with them all my life. I regret for the time of my life where I didn't acknowledge them, but I do now. I acknowledged them when I was a kid. But I guess there's always that time where we have to venture out and then eventually we venture back in. And yeah, where, death was at one time bleak. It was something to be afraid of. Now I see it as an embrace. I mean, it's like, folks, I'm getting on the ship. See you on the other side, right? Uh, but anyway, words. So being tested. And the thing about it is that, and then again, this is just my personal opinion, but I know a spirit of gratitude, the spirits respond to that. I mean, when you speak favor over the spirits, I hope you do. I speak favor over the creator, whoever it is. I don't know. I've read a lot of different versions of what other people say. I don't like their versions. So I choose one in my own making and liking, and is that it's not a religion. Never was, never will be. And that many religions take from it, but I found that the real truth, it lies within. I don't need an external God when I have an internal God. And isn't that the true God, the one that's internal? The one that's external, I don't know what that one is. Unless we're looking in the mirror. Hello, Mary White. How are you? Uh, thank you. I like that. Uh, thank you. It's very sweet of you. Um, May pain serve you. It does. Let me tell you, it keeps you sharp. Yeah. And then you just become more grateful. You say, "Oh, thank you, body. You do 1,000 and freaking things every second, and I'm not even aware of it." Um, Someone's outside going kaboom. Like, what is that? But yeah, Bubba. Bubba is the other thing. Now he's my constant shadow. It's amazing how this dog just is attached to me. When Dancer passed over, this dog, I don't know. Almost like I think Dancer just jumped from one body to the other. I don't know. Anyway, so I hope to be on tomorrow. I think every day I'm getting stronger. So, you know, the pain is serving me well. Again, give thanks to your body. Tell your body, thank you. I mean, folks, we got to be more grateful. Maybe that's the problem with the world is that we take so much for granted that, an attitude of gratitude begins to change all the world and all reality. Life doesn't owe us anything. It doesn't owe us anything. And I think for you, as to whether you owe life anything back, I don't know about that. But I do know this, whether this is the life realm or the death realm, I contend it's the actual death realm. Be grateful for the experience. Good, bad, indifferent. I'm grateful for all of you. I give thanks for all of you. Gilbert, I mean, this dude and I have become close, and it's the same thing I say with Nathan. David Barry, there's just so many. You know, look all your names. Uh, thank you, Bonnie. Those pains are beginning to, like I said, each day getting a little stronger. There we go. Paul Joe, yeah. Gratitude goes a long ways. It does, So, and my body's freaking healing at a rate that, I mean, they are telling me that like 2 weeks. I said, 2 weeks? You got it. Ain't no way, no way. I said, and Lynn said, he's a fast healer. He really is. So I got that going for me. Keep it young, folks. Listen, our bodies may grow old. That is a reality, but the spirit doesn't. I'm still a prankster and a joker and an inquisitive, ever curious spirit being. I may, in fact, have a soul, and if I do, it's fucking beautiful. That's all I got to say. I mean, again, I don't need an external God because the one on inside, I mean, that's one trippy dude. That's all I got to. I don't even think it's a dude. Don't think it's a dudette. It just is. So it makes it freaking beautiful. And it really digs what I do. You know, that experience getting off the concrete floor. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You start talking, and I was the only one out there. I was by myself. And oh, if you only knew I had all this stuff that had to be, and yeah. But, it's amazing what self will do. It kicks in. Then it starts telling you, yeah, you're hurt, but that's all right. You can do that. You can do that. You're fine. Listen, you're breathing. Yeah, you're a little sore, but hey, dude, you're still here. Turn around, look at that 2x8. You see where that thing's hanging? Yeah, think about that. So anyway, 105 in the Texas Panhandle seeking truth. Holy crap. Well, up here in the Midwest, it is a beautiful 78 degrees. Cloudy, early. It's going to be an early fall. You can see it. The animals are showing it. And by the way, animal report. I usually do it when Trina and Jenny's on. Girls, love you both. Um, we'll be on next Tuesday. Um, I have hit the jackpot. I mean, I'm seeing nature in a way that so few humans never get to experience. It's just wonderful. I seen a mother deer feeding two of the most beautiful little fawns. And we have so much life around us. It's just, yeah. At times I feel like, you know, it's like a flashback, it's like you're in a place that is so magical. And to look at it just from the postcard kind of perspective, you say, well, isn't that pretty? But inside that pretty, there is magic everywhere. And you're part of all of that. So anyway, folks, uh, Gilbert says the deer flies are biting hard early winter. Yeah. And if they're biting, that sucks, Gilbert. That's all I got to say. I hate when things do that. Ruby, thank you, darling. And I'll pass that on to Lynn. We both now just walk with this kind of smile, It's like, yeah, you know. And we know that there were conversations the other night that weren't as pleasant. They weren't celebrating by cooking. Yeah. All right, folks, much love to you. We'll get into some papers and other things tomorrow and make it worth your time. This one was kind of more or less just getting back in the saddle. And God dang, the saddle hurts, man. That's all I got to tell you. But anyway, Susie Q, peace out to you, darling. Uh, Chloe, thank you, darling. All the rest of Mary wins, as she says, love one. That's it. Lady Ellie, good to see you. Uh, yeah, this is a spirit family. There is no doubt. Lost in space. Appreciate you. All right, everyone. Until we meet again, hey, stay off ladders. Ladies, get that checkup. That's all I got to say. All right. Much love to you.